Hi, I'm Tom Becker. I'm the founder and director of the Row House Incorporated, and I started the Row House Forum back in 2010. And people always ask, what is it? And that's the purpose of this video. I asked some friends, some of my board members, and just friends to sit down and answer a couple questions and just what they like about the Row House Forum, why they go, and they support it, and also maybe share a memorable event, something they remember from one of our events that we've sponsored in Lancaster City. Our tagline is engaging current culture with ancient faith, and we do that in a lot of ways, but mostly just through speakers and through hospitality and lectures. We're trying to equip people to think about things from a Christ-centered point of view, but do that in a way that's for the public good, so people can come, friends can come, people outside the church can come and really learn something and have a great time. So I'll let my friends speak for me, and thanks for watching.
You can always expect coffee and good food. And I'm usually late, so I end up sitting on the staircase, which is it's just always really nice and like whimsical and really nice perspective. It kind of reminds me of being a kid. So Debbie Taylor was talking about yoga and yoga kind of from a Christian perspective. And I remember she told I thought a really funny story about doing yoga on a beach. I don't remember what beach it was, but she was trying to do yoga, like a Christian version of yoga. And I think she was doing yoga moves that corresponded with the Lord's Prayer. And everyone that was there was really offended by that, and they thought it was really like blasphemous or irreverent or something. I thought it was really funny. And I would have liked to be there for that.
I also appreciate that there's not a catch. There's nothing that the Row House is trying to sell. There's no strings attached. It really does exist just for fun and conversation about culture and faith. And for whoever wants to join in that. And I also appreciate that there are podcasts for any of the ones that I've missed. There have been times when I'm, stuck at home sick or something, and I've just marathoned through the podcasts. So I really appreciate that those are available, because I can't always get to them.
There was a speaker named Dave Canfield, who's might be the only person stranger than Tom himself, and he came and spoke about just the culture of like horror movies and just kind of like weird kind of fringe cinema, and it was just really great because I love that kind of stuff and he just I've never heard anyone speak about it and like the redeeming parts of it, and it was really great to see something that I loved and I've always loved and never really had like could put the words like why I love this thing and like why I thought it was so great, and then have someone speak about it and really like it was just so fresh. It was like fresh to my ears, and I don't know. It just kind of like struck a chord with me, and I really loved it. So I feel like these kinds of conversations where we're reaching people who already don't have a voice or nothing's being said about it, and kind of like start that conversation about it. So for me, that was like a defining like Row House moment.
And the mission of engaging the culture with our faith, it presents an opportunity to actually engage people who aren't believers in Jesus, and to bring people to certain forums if it's relevant to them. So that's what I think is unique about the Row House, the opportunity not only to engage with a topic, but to engage with other people on that topic.
So recently, just this November, we had Makoto Fujimura, who is a visual artist. He calls himself an artist and an advocate. And his painting was being shown in downtown Lancaster at Square Halo Gallery. But the Row House had him in for a talk. And for me, I'm a musician, and I have a lot of friends who are musicians, and I work as a music professor, so I have students who are artists. But for me, it was very encouraging to see someone who has been out and living as an artist for most of their adult life, who has 20, 30 years of experience of doing this creative work in the world. And there was so much wisdom. It's just like, he did this and he made it, and I think I can do this with my life just from hearing him speak.
I joined the board of the Row House because I believe in what Tom and the others are doing. The Row House Forum is, to me, a great way of engaging the community on a small sort of micro level. This is not an organization that's worried about hitting the most people around the world, but really wants to focus on what's happening here in Lancaster. is a community-oriented thing where we can bring people together to talk about tough issues, to talk about whatever it is that's on our minds, whether it's community or grace or sin or film or art or whatever it is, and have thoughtful discussions whether people agree or disagree. It's a great way to have those discussions and not worry about what other people think about you, and you know, build community in that way. I spoke at the Row House Forum on the issue of community and sort of bring it into the digital age a number of years ago. And you know, being in Tom's house with 20 or 30 people sitting there listening, it was great to sort of have that conversation and talk about the things that I'm thinking about and still fleshing out in my mind that I continue to think about, and share those ideas with other people and then get feedback, immediate feedback from people. To me, that's something that's really exciting, and just to see the number of speakers and the different types of speakers that Row House Forum has is incredibly encouraging to me.
I think the Row House is really good for Lancaster City in an urban setting, and getting people out of their comfort zones and out of their individual houses and lives, and bringing people together to being involved in each other's lives, which I think tends to make us uncomfortable. It isn't really necessarily something we want to do because it's easier to just kind of be on our own, but I do think the Row House is really important in that aspect, especially as believers. That is what we should be doing, and if that's the way that we are acting, people, the rest of the world will see that and be drawn to that, because it is a very enjoyable thing to just be with people and enjoying one another's presence. So I think that's a really great thing the Row House is doing.
One of the things that's been really fun for me with the Row House is it's given me an opportunity to design posters, logos, those sorts of things. That's my day job, but to be able to support the Row House visually has been a delight. It has given me personally a great opportunity for creativity. When we do posters for each event, each season of speakers, each one is completely different and completely crazy. We've had Row House events about vampires, Row House events about economics, about romance. We've had Row House events about boredom, about movies. And for me, though, it always seems to be the next Row House event is what I'm most excited about.
I like how we do things and how you do things that are rooted in the city that I live in and in our community. And that talks about the ideas that are out there in the broader culture, but also brings it home to what does it look like to be a follower of Jesus, and to think about and to listen in on what's going on in the world. And I love how we love people and we offer hospitality and good food and enjoyable experiences, but also thoughtful ideas and thoughtful people, so we can listen and ask questions and get to know each other and get deeper with ideas. But it's all rooted in a place where I live. I think the Kaylee was probably one of my favorite when we had the dance, and when we had, I don't remember the name of the band who was playing, but it was such a joyful, fun night with really good music and lots of energy. And I think the Kaylee was one of my favorites.
Yeah, we live in a time of shallow conversations and viral content. There aren't many organizations out there that are encouraging, more personal, deep conversations, lasting, ancient dialogues, things that relate to, really makes us human. And the Row House is really doing that. It's encouraging people. Both the content coming from the Row House helps guide people who would never show up in a church to these ancient truths. But beyond that, I think people leave the forums talking about things that just go much deeper than you're going to find on BuzzFeed or HuffPo.
I had a Chinese student that lived with me for the school year last year. And the day she arrived, we came to the Elks Club for the blues dress-up party, dance party. And as we walked in, there were all these people outside and greeting us, greeting her, and we dressed up. It was great fun. As we left that night, she just looked at me and she said, these are Christians? And I said, yeah, there are a bunch of people from my church. You know, we get together and we have talks and do fun stuff. And she said, wow, this was so fun. I've never been with Christians in a fun place like this.
Hey, thanks for watching. It was really fun for me to hear my friends talk a little bit about why they like the Row House. And if your interest has been piqued, you can certainly come visit us at one of our events. And you can just click on the rowhouse.org events button, and you can come see us, come and join us. Another way to help is to subscribe or donate to the Row House. We put out a journal twice a year, and we always thank our donors with that, so I'd love to send you one of those for any gift. Kind of like public radio, we sustain ourselves by people donating and real generous friends and people who can give what they can. That's a great way to help us out, and I'd love to thank you. Just hit the give button, and I hope to see you soon at the Row House Forum.
Hey, how's it going?
What do you want to say?
Okay, well, first of all, this place, the Rose House, what?
Row House Forum.
Row House Forum. Yeah, so I love being here. I don't know what this is, but I really appreciate that you all invited me in because I had nowhere else to be today. So, I don't know.
That's a wrap.